Alright, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel again. It's been a while. I haven't posted in about a month. I'm going to talk about my dreams that I had from God and the dreams. And these are all from a while back. And I know I've been posting a lot on my regular YouTube and regular content. That's because I've been trying to save up money to buy a camera. And I've honestly been using that as an excuse to not record because I get nervous when it comes to fitness influencing and content in the gym and stuff, because I don't want to bother people. It's not because I'm nervous to do it. I don't. If people didn't care at all and I knew it, I wouldn't. I would keep doing it and I wouldn't care. But I gotta get over that, and I'm still gonna keep using my phone for now. But I want to talk about the dreams that I had. Now I'm gonna keep posting fitness content. I'm still gonna be posting original content. My day-to-day life, fitness, gaming maybe at some point. Maybe though, I don't know. I don't think God wants me to be posting that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about the dreams that I had. So, and I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. So if I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to explain the dream and I kind of just I just kind of mess up and my speech kind of just messes up, just bear with me. I'm just going off the top of my head, but I'm going to explain my dreams first and then talk about what I think each one means, and then we'll post. But the first dream I had from God, it was a dream about the second coming and the rapture. And in this dream, I was in this field, right? And it was all green grass. It was beautiful. It was like a paradise almost. There were houses, there were these trees and stuff, and it was kind of like farmland. There was very few houses. You can imagine that with gates and kennels and stuff and pens for animals and stuff like that. I was walking down this path, and I looked up. Or I felt like shaking, and I looked up, and the clouds, there's a mark in the clouds, and then it just split open and it burst, and it looked like a sonic explosion, the clouds whoo, but it was misty, but then it kept going, and it just it did it again, and Jesus came back, and you know how the Bible explains how Jesus' face, it's like a flame of fire, and you can't really see his face because it's so bright, but it doesn't hurt your eyes, it doesn't hurt. Only the people that didn't believe, they were blinded by it, stuff like that. Well, his face was pure, it was like the sun, it was bright, and he came down with angels. And the crazy thing about this, how Jesus says he has he holds the universe in his hands, meaning he holds everything together. Well, in the dream, you can see the whole universe behind him. You can see the stars, you can see the planets, you can see the alignings, you can see all of that stuff, and you can even see colors that I've never even seen before. You can see certain different colors, stars from way back, and the whole universe kind of just came with him. And it gets me thinking of the book of Enoch, because in the book of Enoch it talks about how the stars in the heavens, and they're multiple parts of heaven, and the stars are part of it too. And there's an angel that governs it, and there's an angel that governs heaven's armies, which is an archangel. And when Jesus said he's bringing heaven on earth, he means and I think the universe is heaven, and science can say all they want that they've explored, it doesn't look like it, or atheists can say it's not heaven, but we've never even been up to space. We've been in our atmosphere, we use telescopes, but that doesn't mean we've never been up there. We've never been to the moon. Let's blow that out the window because that junk is fake. Even one of the astronauts themselves that actually got sent up there said that it wasn't. They never went there. You can't get up. We can't leave it. We can't leave our place. We can send things into orbit in our atmosphere and stuff like that, and technology like that, but we cannot go outside of it. And so all the stars and all the planets were aligned. They all came down, and I started rising up, and my clothes started changing too. And I just remember this aspect of that dream too. My clothes started changing. It turned into this white robe, not a robe, but it was white. It was just white clothing. That's all I can say. And then we appeared in this house, and I forgot who was in front of me. It was a person, but Jesus was on the right of me, or I think it was my angel on the right of me. Because everyone has their own angel. I think my own angel was right next to me. And I was telling you, I was I gotta go tell my friends about this. I gotta go tell my friends that you're here and stuff, or you came. And it ended. But then, it didn't end, but it ended at that part. And then it happened again. But this time I got raptured up, came up, and it was just there. It was just that, and I was like coming up to God, and I was gonna touch Him, and then it just ended. And I think the dream meant two things. I think it was the rapture, and I think it was the second coming. Because I do believe in the rapture, but just in case, because people honestly use the rapture as fear as well. And if we do stay, I'd say just be ready for it, because you don't know what's really going to happen. Yes, the rapture is talked about in the Bible, not the word rapture, but this is the word that we use because, its definition. But the rapture is like in the Bible, and even in Daniel and in Revelations and stuff, it talks about God will keep us from wrath, so on and so forth. But I feel like people also use it as fear because they don't want to go through it, and because they know it's true, but they don't want to live in it. So I think we got to be prepared for that. But honestly, I can earnestly say that I do believe the rapture is real. I do believe that God will take His church up before the tribulation comes, because it gets really bad. It gets really bad. And I don't think God would leave His chosen people and the ones that He cared for and brought up and brought their calling up and stuff and so on, and just leave them there to die like that. Because it says that almost the entire world gets wiped out, but something, I think, I can't remember exactly, but God stops it, or something stops it, and the Antichrist comes, brings peace, and then the next 4 or 5 trumpets are next. But there's another, and I had another dream, and I think that in this dream, because I think we're on Earth. Me and my mom were in this restaurant. We're sitting down, or at least I think it could have been paradise actually. I'm not sure though, because it was cloudy, and like it was like dark clouds and stuff, and there was no roof on this restaurant. It wasn't really a restaurant. It was like we were just sitting down eating, but it was like an open area, and Jesus came down, but this time the clouds were more dark and stuff, and angels were around Him. Jesus came, and we started rising up, and I got picked up. I saw my mom next to me get picked up as well. In this dream, it happened twice too, but that's all that happened. And it's interesting how the number 2 happened. It happens twice each dream, and I believe that this, again, the rapture and the second coming. So we're just like we're gonna explain that in a little bit. I mean, I already kind of explained it, so there's no point in really trying to like explain that dream too, because it's kind of the same thing. But there was another dream that I had, and there's another dream that I had, and it was in Lake Tahoe. And the way I know this is this is crazy. And this is how. And those 2 other dreams, I can confirm those were by God, and it wasn't just like defying God, or it wasn't like against God, or I wasn't just and like some demon, or you know what I mean, whatever. The way I can confirm this is that because I used to watch TikTok in 2019, 2018, stuff like that, 2020, and you know how Christian TikTok was back then. It was like a little corny, but it had some fruits in it, you know what I mean? But my mom thought that I was telling her about these dreams that I had, and my mom thought that I was lying about them. She thought that I was just watching too many videos and copying them and just like lying about the dreams that I had. And then a week later, she goes to work, because like in the span of 2 weeks, I was like telling her about these dreams like every other day, and I had more dreams and stuff like about demons and all that. But I was talking about these dreams to her, and and I could tell she kind of believed me. She was kind of rubbing it off, because my mom is that kind of person. Like she'll listen to something, she'll be like, and if it's not what like she wants to hear, sometimes she'll kind of just rub it off. But she's a faithful believer in Christ. But she went to she went to work, and as she was working, this girl came up to her, and then she told me this is what happened, because she came home crying because she was sad. She felt bad because she didn't believe me. And this girl, because God gives people abilities and gifts, but not everyone's gift is about teaching, or not everyone's gift is spreading the gospel. Believe it or not, it's good. I think because God gives gifts, and we all have different callings. Like not everyone can teach, not everyone can do deliverances, or I think they can, but not everyone can like focus on it and deal with it and have discernment like that more than other people do. We all have a calling. It could be for singing, could be for worship, it could be Like I said, for casting out demons. It could be for teaching. It could be for all kinds of things, because we don't know. The spiritual realm is deep. It's really deep, and God knows that, because I mean He created everything, and so He sends certain people to have certain callings, and we have to remember this, because not everyone can teach. Not everyone can like cast out demons, or at least like how like because God teaches certain people how to cast out demons because that is their calling. Deliverances, so forth. We all have different callings, we all have different gifts, but we can all do these things. That's the thing. But God calls people for different things. We can deliver demons too. Even people like say like if I'm a teacher, we can deliver demons too. We can cast out demons. We can, have discernment and types of things. Every real Christian has some kind of discernment. And anyway, in the dream, my mom went to work, and this girl, she said that my mom was scared to be around her because she could read her, or not more so read her mind, but God tells her thoughts, my mom's thoughts. And she told her, and she was like, "Your son has dreams from God." And she was like, and she came up to her and she asked her, she's like, "Yeah, son, do you have a son?" And she was like, "Yes." And he's like, "Your son gets dreams from God." And she said, "So don't not believe them." And she's gonna say, I'm just going off my words, like I said. She said, "Don't believe, don't think that he's lying about those dreams, because he's not, and those are actually from God." And in the past, this girl has like said things that my mom was thinking, and my mom would be kind of scared and freak out, and she was afraid to be around her. But she's gifted from God. She had a calling, and she came home crying to me, and she was like, "Taken, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for thinking you were lying, this and that." I was like, "No, I wasn't lying about that. Why'd you think that?" And she was like, "I thought that you were watching too many videos on TikTok and stuff, and yada yada, this and that." And it just confirmed that, like, God really is with me. He is with you too. So just know that. And now to the other dreams that I had. There was a dream that I had, and I remember it happened not that long ago, because we went to visit Lake Tahoe, and in this dream, this happened before I went to Lake Tahoe. So I was in the dream. We weren't even like planning on going either. This happened like a month before we went, and in this dream, it was me and my dad, and we're in this little cabin area, and there's an area that I went to in Lake Tahoe, and it's like there's my cabins. The cabin was like, it was like out of the little town that it was in, or not town, but whatever you want to call it, and it was like right there. You come outside, you turn left, and you're in the town or whatever it is, and anyway, there's this little roundabout area, and there is a little park on the side, and there was like these trees, and there's the lake. There's Lake Tahoe, and there was this golf course that was like, it was like a woody golf course. It was like had trees in it and stuff, but it was a golf course, and it was cool. And in this dream, I was driving, and me and my dad was at the house, and something started happening, and stuff started just freaking out and going everywhere. And we drove to this park area, and we're watching something, and there was a giant billow, like there was like a giant cloud. It was really dark, and the lake was kind of on fire, as far as I remember. And on this, there's a certain tree, and it was the exact same tree in Lake Tahoe, the place I went to, and the tree had the number 4 on it. It was like the leaves, it was like on the leaves, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like the leaves formed, like darker leaves formed a certain number, and it was the number 4. And there's three trees that had the same thing. So this tree lit on fire, and it had the number 4 on it. And then on the right, because you know how God uses symbols to, tell us people, because He wants us to understand what's going on, but He also wants us to figure it out, and also use His power and His will to discern these things, because that's how He teaches us. And on the right side, there was another tree with the number 4 on it, and like it lit up and lit on fire. And then I turned around, I turned all the way around me, and far away there was number 4, a tree with the number 4 on it, and it lit on fire. And a whole bunch of stuff started happening, like flood. I think it was a small little flood that was going on, and I got in the car and I started driving away, but my dad wasn't there. I didn't know where he was, and I started driving, and I think at some point the dream ended. But it was crazy because I went to Lake Tahoe, and there was this area, and it looked just like my dream, like just like at the bench. there was that tree it was like a certain tree, and it was like there's other trees on the left and other trees on the right, but there was a certain tree that was kind of like far apart from them, and it was sitting right there, and it looked like everything around me too. Like it looked, the dream was exactly like how it was in Lake Tahoe. And I actually looked up I looked up the 444, which is the number. I just looked up Bible verses 444. I just used that number, and every verse that popped up was talking about judgment, and it was talking about mercy. Every verse, it was judgment and mercy. It was judgment, mercy, judgment, mercy. Literally in that order: judgment, mercy, judgment, mercy, judgment, mercy. And I think we're coming to a point in time in this life, in the end, and God is going to show his power, and he is going to reveal something to everyone. He's going to do miracles and many things, because I think the end's coming soon. And he wants to save as many people as he can before it happens, because he wants his kingdom to be full, and people are going to go through a lot. And I think I'm here because I think like this is a gift for me. I think this is a gift. Me dreaming and getting dreams from God is a gift for myself. God gave that to me, along with other people too. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm just going off the top of my head, by the way. And this is just the top of my head. And I'm going to talk about other dreams too, like demons, dreams I have of like demons and stuff. And because fighting spiritual warfare is real, dude. Because I struggle with anger sometimes. And there was one day where I was like in tune with God. I fasted the day before, and the next day, I think when you fast, God, even after you finish your fast and you start eating, I think God like keeps you in that moment, in a sense. Except you're eating and you're full, and you think about it less. You think about God. You don't think about God less, but you think of focusing on Him a little bit less, and let's just be honest, that's true. And I was angry that day. I was like really mad. I was like getting annoyed. My nephew was here. He was like asking a lot of questions, and I was fine with it. But I was getting mad at like not mad at my parents like, but like I was getting annoyed and stuff like very easily, and like everything that day was just very very annoying. And I had a dream that night, and this is how demons attack you. They don't attack you physically. Some of them can. It just depends on what kind of demon it is. Because I believe demons are Nephilim that have died in the past. And I believe that archangels, or archangels, I believe that fallen angels are the ones that rule. And there's a whole testimony my mom has. It's mainly her testimony because she like heard and saw God's voice, heard God's voice, and Jesus literally spoke to her like in her head. And but we all went through it. Like me and my entire family are going through like a whole bunch of bad stuff, and it was demons, because demons are coming after us. And we had witchcraft, I believe. We had witchcraft on us. Like even at my mom's black bear, this girl Jeanette, I'm not gonna say her name, but I almost did. This girl, she had a dream, and she had a dream that there was a black car and there was a red car, and it was circling where my mom works. It was circling the restaurant, and she said that there was like, I forgot what she said. I think there was like witchcraft and like fire coming out from under these cars. I can't remember exactly what she said. And there was these witches, and the girl that I'm talking about that had the dream, she was outside, and they tried coming after her. And they were witches. They tried coming after her, and they tried to grab her, but they couldn't touch her. She said she's one of them. She's one of those angels. She's one of the people of light. That's what the witch said, and they couldn't touch her. And there's this light, like it was like an aura around her, and they couldn't touch her. And the few days later, she tells the girl about my mom about the dreams that she had, and there's other two workers, and she said the other two workers were like, that's crazy, because there was a black and there was a red car circling the thing for at least like an hour or like 30 minutes or something like that, and it was a black and red car, and they were circling the diner, and someone placed witchcraft. My mom went outside to pray over it, right? And she went to go outside to go pray over it, because my mom's a firm believer. She prayed over it. She prayed over it. She went to the statue, the bear statue, and she prayed over that too. And she looked to her left, and there was a nutcracker, and it wasn't like any other nutcracker. It was an antique. It was one of those ones that from 100 years ago. That's what she said because she looked it up and stuff, and it looked just like it. And she looked it up on like just Google, just looked it up normally, and she found something and talked about how a nutcracker can be used to break dimensions and break through a certain shell to get in. And I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to break the shell of whatever was on that place, which is God, Jesus Christ, and angels, the light of God protecting that place. And they were trying to break through it. And she came home talking about it, and it's just freaky. And I'm talking about this because I had dreams of demons too, like that when I was angry, I had a dream that night. And because before this, like before like I came to God and stuff, it was weird because I always believed in God. I never like lived for him at first. But I always thought of him, I always thought about what it would be like if God was real and like what would happen. And I always thought about that. And my mom told me, like, and I'm not gonna tell you that testimony because I don't want to yet, because it's not, I just don't feel like talking about it because it's a long, long story. Because I don't want this video to be too long. But because it's a long story. And she basically God told her that God has His hand on me. So, like me not having a job right now, me being in this little situation, this nice house, like we got a new house and stuff. I think me being here and not having a job, not doing anything, I think it's God protecting me. Because nothing has went bad in my life. Like, my parents did some things, but they were still parents even while they were doing those things. And, they made mistakes. Of course they did. I mean, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. But for me, it never got to me, and it's weird. Like, I never like stuck with it. I tried weed. I never liked weed. I didn't like the feeling of it. Tried drinking a little bit. I didn't like it. I did it one time, and that was it. It wasn't really drinking. It was just like a few sips of something, and I got tingly, really tingly, and I didn't like it. So I didn't do that. I tried to act cool at some point in my life. I tried to like fit in, but I just never did. At some point, I kind of just gave up on it because I was like, this is kind of stupid. Like, what am I even doing? I had a set of friends, a few friends, and I always hung out with them. I never indulged in dumb things. I never fell into that kind of stuff. I've never been in like trouble. Like, I've been in trouble, of course, but I've never been in, like, bad trouble, Like, I think God's let some things happen, but, like, they weren't even that bad. And I think God really is protecting me. I think He's keeping me pure for this reason. And in this dream, I'm talking about the dream now. In this dream, I was in my house. I don't know if it was this house or the other one, but I was in my house. And I was dealing with the spirit of aggression. I was dealing with it. And this demon came out. It was, like, behind the couch. This demon came out, and it, freaky. It might actually could have been from right here or somewhere over here. But this demon came out, and it had like a mask on, but it was like a stick figure. It was skinny. It was like a stick figure, but like it had a mask on, and it had the symbol. It was like a symbol, like the Brightburn. It had that symbol on it, and it was like straight down, but it was like different. It was like it went down like this, and it went down like this. I think it looked like a little bit of a Nordic writing, and it had these long like 3-4 foot claws, bro, and it came after me, and like it was like hunting me, and it felt like you could feel the aggression on it, bro, and that's how I know I was dealing with aggression because I was like, it was real aggression. It wasn't like annoyed. I was like very angry, and it came after me like this, but it couldn't touch me, and I was afraid, but for some reason I still got up anyway, and I still prayed. I said, Jesus' name, I cast you out, and it looked at me, and it backed up, and then it went back to where it came from. Like, it came out of this hole. I don't even know if it was a hole. It just came out of the ground, and it went back into the ground, and then the dream ended. Spiritual warfare is real, dude, and I think we have to remember this, because when we fight things like this, they are real beings. They exist. You might not see them physically, but they can do a lot of things, dude. They have power. Fallen angels have power. God let that happen for a reason. And let God's will be done. I just want to tell you guys about these dreams, talk about them. You guys can take into consideration. I want to talk about that testimony, but like it's a big one and it's a long time. I have to like do something else for that because I don't think my phone can even handle how long that testimony is. There's a lot that happened in the house. From my perspective, but I just want to talk about my dreams, tell you about it, and fitness content is going to be up. It's going to be there. It's going to be happening. You know, it's not just I'm not just like not posting. I just haven't been. I just been lazy with it. Honestly, I've been posting shorts and stuff, but I'm still going to be doing fitness content. I'm still going to be doing regular content. But I'm always going to talk about God, no matter what, no matter when, whenever I want to, whenever I need to. I'm going to talk about God, and not just like this. Like I'll be going to the gym and I'll just be talking about God because this is how I am. So be ready for more fitness content. Be ready for more content in general because we gonna do this, bro. You know. But for some reason, I'm not in the spirit of greed because I just realized that I've been kind of greedy because I've been wanting this like this. And I've been kind of greedy and I've been thinking of only the money mainly. Like a lot of it was about the money. Like, oh, I can't wait be up here, have this house, have this car, have all this money. But I've been like really focused on God and locked in, and I haven't been craving it and I haven't been wanting it, you know. But I still want to do it. So that's the thing. I still want to do this, but I haven't been craving greed. I haven't been craving certain things, and like, you know, I think this is God telling me stop seeking worldly things because, and this is crazy. This is probably why I don't have a job either. And I'm not trying enough. I know that, but I for however long I can think of, I've been wanting to do content, and I've been seeking a job only because I want to buy a camera and make a whole bunch of videos, make gaming videos and stuff like that, and make content and make a lot of money. That's what I wanted to do, and I still want to do that. But like right now, and it probably gonna stay like this, like when I want because I'm in tune with God, and I don't feel that anymore. Like I only want to serve God now in this moment. And I think God was telling me, dude, you gotta stop searching for these material things because it's not gonna satiate you, bro. And if I give it to you, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna fall apart. And I think God wants me to seek Him in this moment and understand Him more and His knowledge. Then God will give whenever it's time. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna still try. I'm not just gonna be lazy and not. I'm still gonna try, but I'm not gonna let the world overcome me. I'm not gonna let lust overcome anger. I'm gonna do my best with the power of Christ because you can't do anything by yourself. And thank you guys for watching. In Jesus' name, amen.